I love it. I think it's okay. Let's start. Now it's almost inside. 3:35. So those are not going to make it after 6 p.m. also. I have only 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I can, when I'm going to university, also seeking for an interval. So and then I guess we can do a lecture within like we can do 2 hour lecture because then now calculating the time. Yes. Okay, now this is the next. Good afternoon. So if you all can remember that we have not completed chapter number 2. There are few slides to be completed in second chapter, right? So before starting today's slide, let's just go through the slides that we have discussed so far from chapter number 2. Working without supervision. That is the chapter that we have discussed, and we have to continue with it also. For the online students, hope you all can hear me. So
yes, yes, Miss.
right. Okay, Buddha, yes, okay. Thank you for the confirmation. We have discussed about being proactive and independent, right? So here, the general point today, what we are discussing is how we can make our subordinates to work without supervision as well as we also. So they all have to stop moving. Right? This chapter is about working without supervision, and that means that at the end, if we consider all the content related to this chapter, focusing how individuals, so like for example, we can explain this scenario from 2 angles or 2 point of views. One is as a leader when we are in the process of leading individuals, right? So we need to make our subordinate to work without supervision. One thing, right? You all have to make your subordinates work without supervision because you all have to delegate work, okay? And you all need to encourage your subordinates to work without supervision. One. And there's another part to it. When you are in the process of becoming a leader, you also know how to work without supervision. That is also there are 2 things, right? So I wanted to like clarify those 2 things. Then we have already started this chapter and we have discussed about being proactive, independence, right? We have discussed those areas. Now we have to start with this slide. Right here, I will explain what is the content of this slide. Okay. So now we have discussed it. So when we are like, if we want to make our subordinates, okay, work without supervision, then we need to encourage them to introduce initiatives. So we need to encourage them to what you call the start the things by their own thinking, and we have to enable them to make decisions. We have discussed several areas, right? So now this slide is coming like this. Now, evening, anyone put the last, what about last 2 rows? No idea. What about these 2 rows today? Anything there? Maybe put it. How to handle it? Here I go. Right, okay, we start. So then, here put it. Now, just think, there's a leader, right? That particular person wants to delegate, right? Delegation is a kind of really very important skill of a leader. Delegation skill thing is we need to delegate in the sense transferring the authority and the task to another person, right? We are transferring responsibilities, we are transferring authorities, right? Decision making power to another person, transfer, right? Delegation. So then when we are working as leaders, we need to understand the importance of delegation. right? That is really important. Because when we are working as senior level managers, we have to focus strategic things, right? We need to make strategic decisions, right? We have to give up kind of considerable time to the strategic things, right? In that particular point, we need to delegate our work, so our tasks to our subordinates. The thing is, if you are not going to delegate the task to kind of a correct person, then there can be lots of consequences, negative consequences to the repercussions. Right? Delegation is really crucial. We cannot delegate things to any of the subordinates. Before delegating the task, we need to clearly identify whether this particular person is capable to continue the task. Right? Can this particular person bear responsibilities? Right? We need to check the knowledge, skills, experience, right? And willingness to do the task. Right? If we are not going to delegate the task or the job to a correct person today, it will definitely create negative impacts. Right? That's why delegation is really important. Again, two things. One is when we are working as a leader, right? When we are performing our roles as senior managers, right? Even executives, right? So we need to focus strategic things with it, right? There are certain areas, if we consider the board of directors or the CEO, so they're expecting something from us. Those things most probably related to the strategic area today, right? If we are going to do all the things, we are making decisions, even we are doing all the documentation first, right? Then we cannot allocate considerable time for the strategic things. Then we cannot deliver expected outcomes. The evaluation again. So we cannot have a kind of a higher scope. Right? So in that case, you all have to take this for your mind. When you are like working as leaders, definitely you all need to practice delegation. Okay, when you are working as leaders, definitely you all need to practice delegation. From one hand, you also getting into. From other hand, you are giving responsibilities, more tasks to your subordinates, and you are improving your subordinates' skills also. Two things, right? Simultaneously, these two things are happening, right? And other thing is like just think when we are delegating kind of very new tasks to one of our subordinates, right? Just say that subordinate, he doesn't have kind of any idea about the new task. It's a totally new task to him. Right? So now we are delegating. Now we are transferring the responsibilities and the task kind of like let's assume kind of a name. That 50% now needs to prepare a report, right? So he needs to analyze the past 3 weeks and need to prepare kind of a analytical or simpler report. Okay, so where he needs to analyze the sales figures and just assume simply he needs to prepare a report. This preparation of report is a kind of new task to the person. Previously, that particular manager has done this task. Right? He referred to the past sales figures and he prepared this report. Okay, kind of a analyst. Right? So now, manager needs to transfer this job role or task to the subordinate. Right? Now, this transfer is part also new to the leader, to the manager. And when we are consider the subordinate, from his standpoint also, when we analyze in the task, it's also new, totally new task to the subordinate also. Leader transfer. Right? Previously, he has not done it. He has done this report preparation by his own self. Now he needs to transfer it to one of his subordinates. The new thing, the delegation is into the leader. Plus, if we consider the subordinate also, this is kind of new thing. Task is stored in new task. Right? Now from this delegation, transferring of this new task to the subordinate, we can expect two benefits. Right? Here, if you can go through the first 2 points, you can see learners get experience of something new. One benefit. Right? That is kind of one benefit that we can expect from the work delegation. So transferring kind of new tasks to our subordinates. Learners get experience, that is subordinates. The first point is not related to the leader. Learners get experience of something new. And then, right, that is totally new. Totally true, right? Then the second point, it says mentors learn how to pass. Mentors in the sense here, leaders, right? Managers. Managers learn how to pass on their knowledge and experience and get further confidence to perform. Right? Two benefits for them. That's the importance of delegation. From one hand, we are enhancing the knowledge of our subordinates from the delegation. From other hand, as leaders, we also can enhance knowledge in relation to how to share the new knowledge to our subordinates. When we are sharing things with our, we all have to keep concentration. When we are sharing something new to the subordinates, we know we can understand the capturing rate. How fast they are capturing the things that we are transferring. Right? Whether we are transferring the task to the correct person. Whether his capability or her capability is sufficient to capture the things that we are getting. What are the new ways that we can use to convey the learnings to our subordinates easily? Right? Lots of things. Two learnings for this. Subordinates are also learning kind of new thing, as well as the leader or the manager also learning something new. From this, what we are trying to do is, when we are delegating for them, after some period, they will receive the experience and then they can do it without supervision. So always we need to read the area that we are discussing with the topic for this, right? Otherwise, don't get confused where they are, but the other point that we are discussing here, the chapter is working without supervision, and these points we need to link with the chapter, right? So why we need to delegate things? Always as managers, we cannot keep close supervision for all the subordinates, right? So once we delegate something to our subordinates, then they will do the task by their own ways, and we don't need to closely monitor their performances. Right? Then they can do their task without supervision. The thing is, we need to do the transferring part, delegating part of the delegation process very accurately. Hari පුද්ගලයාට, hari විද්‍යාවට, hari task එකට, hari වෙලාවට we need to delegate. Then they will continue with if we have selected the correct person, if they are like delegating the correct task, if the time also correct, okay. So then that particular person will continue with the task without supervision. Then as leaders, we can focus the strategy. And see the benefits that we can obtain from the delegation. But still, delegation is crucial. If you are not going to transfer or delegate the task to the correct person, if you are going to delegate the wrong task to the wrong person, right? That can be lots of issues. Okay, so write down small notes. Before writing, read the slide with me. Before writing my small note, let's read the slide. Sometimes one will feel that I will be confusing. In that case, just forget the title. I will skip a new title. So let's try to capture the things that I have mentioned in the slide. Still we are in chapter 2 there. Write down the subtopic. Advantages of delegation. Advantages of delegation. Within brackets, development opportunities of delegation process. Development opportunities of delegation process. Opportunities of delegation process. So write down these 2 points today. These are the main 2 advantages. Right? Subordinates. Get experience of doing something new, and they will learn to work without supervision. Can you remember the situational leadership theory today? Right? So in the situational leadership theory, you have learned something like this. So before selecting a specific leadership style, we are analyzing the nature of our. With the last moves, you all have to keep concentration, please. So before selecting a specific leadership style, we need to analyze the nature of our subordinates. Right? So there are like basically 4 leadership styles according to the situational approach. Right? When we are discussing about different leadership theories, there is a specific approach called situational approach. So in the situational approach, what it says is we need to select the leadership style based on the nature of our subordinate, situational, contextual. Right? So according to that theory, there are 4 leadership styles today: coaching, supporting, then directive, and delegating. Usually, leaders use delegating leadership style once they feel that their subordinates have capability. They have the required skills, knowledge to perform the task, plus they're ready to do the task. Right? So now you can understand that we are moving with the delegation for the years. That is true. We need to delegate the work once we feel that. As leaders, once we feel that this particular subordinate is ready to do the task and the skills and the knowledge also with that particular person to perform the task. Then delegation there can be issues. Right? So then write down. That's a division. So then write down the second point. As leaders, the second advantage. This is for leaders. As leaders, they can understand how to share knowledge How to share the knowledge and experience and confidence to dedicate correct tasks to correct subordinates. Okay. So here today, when we are working as leaders today, that when we are performing our roles as managers, always we need to accept the differences between individuals. Right? When we are working as managers, when we are performing as leaders, right? Always today, we need to accept the differences between individuals. We cannot expect same level of performances from all the individuals. Their capabilities are so different, their backgrounds are so different, plus their experiences, right? And willingness to do the task only different. And always we need to accept those differences, right? The thing is, first thing we need to accept the differences. We need to understand there are differences and we need to accept the differences. Other thing is, you can see in the second bullet point, okay, second point, draw people's strengths by matching the task allocated to the persons. Once we identify the differences, strategically we have to think with it. When we are assigning tasks, as leaders, we need to organize the task with them. In the organizing process, what we do is we are assigning resources and we are assigning tasks. Right? That's what organizing is. In management, we are learning, right? So then as managers, as leaders, when we are in the process of assigning tasks to the relevant individuals, we need to now refer to those differences with it. Always we need to match the task with the capabilities of individuals. Right? Otherwise, we cannot expect first without supervision. Even if we have so, again, locating the like your levels with the what you call the topic, right? Otherwise, you cannot understand what are the points that we are discussing, right? So, if we want to make our subordinates work without supervision, first thing we need to clearly identify differences between our subordinates. Once we identify, okay, then when we are assigning the task, we need to match their capabilities with the scope of the job, requirements of the job. Right? That's what it says, matching the task allocated to the person. In the third point, it says, encourage people to develop and improve. Another thing is, right, okay, we know, if we want to make them work without supervision, we need to allocate the task to the related and capable individuals, right? Sometimes we realize not allocating some tasks to some subordinates once we realize that particular person's capability is not sufficient. We are not allocating it, right? So there are two individuals, right? They are in the same designation. Finance executives, right? They are the same designations. Person A and person B, right? But the thing is, when we are analyzing the capabilities, person A's capabilities are really high compared to the person B. Right? So they are receiving same salaries, right? Same benefits. So from our end also as leader, we also allocate assigning kind of responsibilities and more work to that particular person because we have identified that particular person has more capability. Right? So what is happening is that automatically other person B realize that okay, I can like be in the comfortable zone. And they are become a consultant. වැඩ ටික ඔක්කොම දාන්නේ දැන් අරම අපි capability එක නැහැ කියන සුටක කරනවා තමයි. As a leader, we cannot ignore that particular person. Right? Once we realize that capabilities are not sufficient to perform the required task, as leaders, we need to motivate that particular person also. We need to add training and development. We need to closely monitor and we need to bridge the capability gap of that particular person. That is also required. Otherwise, person A will work without supervision. We cannot make the person B working without supervision till we reach the capability gap. Right? That is also important. There are three things that we need to understand if we want to make our subordinates working without supervision. Right? Write down the kind of subtopic. Requirements to consider. Requirements to consider. Requirements to consider. Requirements to consider. When making subordinates. Subordinate. Working without supervision. Third point. As leaders, it is required to, as leaders, it is required to recognize individual differences. Individual differences.
It will be different.
Then second point. It is required to assign. It is required to assign tasks. It's required to assign tasks based on the capabilities of individuals. We can write down skills, knowledge, attitudes, and experience. Right. Third point. It is required to encourage. It is required to encourage. It is required to encourage subordinates to bridge the capability gaps. If we can encourage our subordinates to bridge the capability gaps for them, after some period, we can expect they also work without supervision. Right? Okay. And write down this particular point also. The fourth point. Providing. Fourth point. In the slide, it says only 3 points, but I'm checking another additional point. So that gets write down this as fourth one. Fourth point. Providing regular feedbacks. Right? So when we are now listen to this is kind of a new point. Let me explain the point. So from this also we are expecting our workers will work without supervision. Another requirement if we want to bring other subordinates, work without supervision, providing feedback. So how it happens? Providing feedback. When we are providing feedback for the life, it's again complex. You all may think that providing feedback is really easy. Okay, as a manager, we can provide feedback clearly, then no good, right? So providing feedback also we need to do in a very strategic manner. Strategic in the sense we have to think and do, right? One is when we feel that one of our subordinates are performing really well, okay, we need to recognize that particular performance and we need to appreciate, right? It's also kind of a feedback. Feedbacks are always not about like giving some comments to improvements, right? So that's why providing feedbacks, it's again kind of a very crucial, strategic and complex thing. You all will feel when you are working as leaders today, you all will feel that. One way of providing feedback is once we realize one of our subordinates works or like working extraordinary, right? We need to appreciate. We need to recognize that particular performance. We need to appreciate it and we need to motivate them to keep that particular performance, maintain that particular performance. One. Another thing is just think of the once we feel that one of our subordinates is not performing according to the expected level, then yes, definitely we need to give kind of feedback targeting that particular negative gap. You all have to improve these areas, right? So here, let me show you all. So this particular point I have explained. Recognize good performance to encourage that person to maintain the expected level. And we need to acknowledge the hard work and the commitment and effort. All these are feedbacks. That's what I'm telling. We are not giving feedbacks, only targeting the deviations. Right? Then help to improve poor performance. Yes, I have explained that particular point also. Poor performance by advising an individual or suggesting training and development program. Right? Then the fourth point, explore reasons for low levels of effort to demonstrate leaders concerned about someone's commitment and contribution. That is also important. If we are not showing our subordinates, we are aware about their commitment and effort, they don't give their maximum. Right? So we need to show that we know, be aware the commitment and the effort of each and every individual under my or his or her supervision. Okay, that is really important. From all these things, at the end, what we are expecting is we like working without supervision. When we are doing first one, they are giving motivation, right? If we consider the first type of feedback, their subordinates are getting motivated, okay, and they try to come up with initiatives and they try to do the things in their own ways, and they're getting motivated. So then they try to do the things without supervision. One thing. Second one also you can understand about it. If we consider the second one, the third point, so after some period, right, we are telling you, so you need to improve this area and we are providing some training and development programs. So after a certain period, we can expect kind of a performance from that particular person, and sometimes that particular person also work without supervision. Other thing is, from the last point today, we can understand some reasons. I start here, I need to perform that change. So as leaders, when we can understand the reasons, then we can like come up with solutions and we can avoid those reasons in the workplace. When coming for example, one reason is there's an issue with resources. Right? There's an issue with resources. That's why some individuals are not performing according to the expected level. So they do not have laptops. Okay? They are performing, they are doing their job by using the desktops. Laptops and desktop making time, and they got application speed, they got some post generate formatting issues. Right? That can be different reasons. So once we realize these things, without providing feedback, without evaluating the performance, we cannot understand the reasons. Right? That is the importance. Once we understand that, then those reasons, we can avoid those reasons in the workplace. Then at the end, indirectly, we are making our subordinates to work without supervision. Our resources, they are not yet able to motivate, කියන gap එක අඩු වෙනවා, capability gap එක. ඒගොල්ලෝ අපිට ඕන performance level එක දෙන්න. Right? So then automatically, we can make them also work without supervision. Right? Okay. So no need to write down these things. Right? No need to write down any of these things. Keep in your mind. When we want to make our subordinates work without supervision, feedback is also performing a vital role. Right? Okay. Read this and write down the answer. That's a small activity. Write down 5 most powerful. Then we can do it. Open subjective, right? Write down 5 most powerful motivational strategies according to your perception of, according to your point of view. Open and 5 most influential motivational strategies. All of you are working with. People can understand why I am asking this kind of a task to do. That's reason again. Always you all need to understand why these activities and why we are learning different sciences and the content. Here we are in the chapter of working without supervision. Therefore, here also what we are trying to do is, if we want to make our subordinates to work without supervision, right? then we need to make our subordinates motivated. Right? If they are not motivated, then we cannot expect the what you call the higher or kind of a good performance from our subordinates. Then still we have to keep our what you call the monitoring, or we need to maintain close monitoring regarding our subordinates performance. But if they are motivated, then it provides something. Okay, now we can make them work without supervision. After they are not able to ready task, they are motivated. It's kind of a small thing. Okay, after some period, we can make them to work without supervision. That's why motivation also another very important factor that we need to consider if we want to make our subordinates work without supervision. That's why I'm asking you all to do this. According to 10G, point of view, follow any kind of a source, but have someone. And so here, carefully read this point. You can see these points are according to Adrian Burnham, Professor of Occupational Psychology at University College London, argues that the most important, these are much different today, right? Argues that most important motivational factors are as follows. The intrinsic value of the job. Within brackets, I have like mentioned, you can see making sure that jobs are interesting to continue. Now you all have to think whether you all are also getting motivated if the factor is so. Right? Intrinsic value of the job. If our job is somewhat like interesting to continue, we are becoming motivated. Right? So that's why I'm taking these points are somewhat like different. That's why I have included also. Right? Then be given responsibilities. When we are receiving some more and more responsibilities, as human beings, we are getting motivated. That kind of perception I think that when managers are giving more responsibilities, we try to understand they have recognized our talents. That's why they are giving more responsibilities. We are getting motivated. Right? Then third point. Giving feedback and creating a sense of achievement. I have seen this particular point from some answers. Yes. Giving feedback and creating a sense of achievement. Then providing training and development opportunity. That is also I have found. And the last point, it's also somewhat interesting. Showing people respect. Right? When talking to them and involving them in decisions. When someone like one of your subordinates is like giving a kind of a comment, sharing some thoughts for them, respect that tone, like accept it. Don't ignore directly. Right? Respect others' thoughts, decisions, others' ideas. From those things also put them and getting motivated. Right? So write down these five. No need to write down, at least put a remark for the examination. This area can be tested. No need to write down because since when you are going to write down these points, you are going to write down the same points. You are going to write down. Put a small remark for the examination purpose. Remember, write down the 16. 16. Motivational factors according to Adrian Farnham, Professor of Occupational Psychology. Now, after finish writing, put a small remark and finish writing. Yeah, no, keep writing. That's okay. No, that's okay. Please. So, next area of our discussion, still targeting how we can make our workplace and our subordinates work without supervision. Right? Still we are in the same topic. Right? Now we are moving on to discuss how we can, in the sense how leaders can harness mind power for the subordinates. Harness, so increase, so improve, enhance mind power for the subordinates. Because if we can harness mind power for the subordinates, then still we can keep some expectations or some hope. We can make our subordinates work without supervision. A kind of another driving factor. What's working without supervision? Right? Harnessing mind power. Here, the title is something like this: the methods of harnessing mind power under appropriate context, under the relevant situations. Right? One thing today, we need to improve our employees' mindfulness, our subordinates' mindfulness. When they are doing something, okay, they need to know that the different thing. For an example, just assume that. So we are asking one of our subordinates to prepare a financial report, statement of financial position for the previous week, right? So then we have given the task. Okay, we have given 1 hour time. Okay, so we have asked him or her to prepare statement of financial position only for the last week. And we take it right? So then just simply now he is doing the preparation part, calculations, and now he is engaging with basically calculations and referring to the transactions. So the thing is, when he is doing that particular task, he is listening to his friends' small chit chats, right? Playing a game from his mobile phone. Game chit chat, like he is listening, right? Even like sometimes watching some YouTube videos, right? Due to this reason, we cannot expect an accurate outcome or report from the subordinate. Right? Mindfulness is really less good, right? So, but same time, there's another person doing the same kind of a task, not the same task, same kind of a task. So giving the attention and keeping the concentration within 20 minutes, he can complete the task. The power of mindfulness, not listening to other chit chats and not watching videos, right? Because there's a task to do within 1 hour time, so they need to give the concentration. Right? The power of mindfulness. Target right? That is really important. If our subordinates do not have mindfulness, if the mindfulness is there, still we cannot keep them without any supervision to them. We need to monitor their performances because we cannot expect 100% accurate outcomes from them if they do not have mindfulness. So see, because of mindfulness, so they have subordinates working without supervision. All these things are linked, right? As a leader, also definitely we need to practice mindfulness. Plus, we need to think about our subordinates mindfulness also. So here you can see, mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment. That is true. අපි මේ වෙලාවේ ඉඳගෙන මේ අපි කරන දේ ටාගට් කරලා focus කරලා කරන්නේ, right? So which can help reduce stress, yes, and improve focus of individuals. Then methods, how we can improve the mindfulness, meditation, breath awareness, and mindful observations, right? So when we are observing ourselves, we need to actively observe, right? Yes. From this, I can subtopic like this. Methods of improving mind power in order to make subordinates working or work without supervision. Work without supervision. In order to make our subordinates work without supervision. Right now, the first point, improving the mindfulness, improving the The first point, first method. Improving the first method, right? Improving the mindfulness. Mindfulness of subordinates. You can practice right now. Meditation. We can encourage our subordinates to practical Lanka, but still we can encourage, right? Meditation. Then breathe awareness. Other strategies that we can use to improve the mindfulness, right? Those are the that are likely the brackets. Then the last one, mindful observations. Mindful observations. Third one, mindful observations. So there's another technique there. Here you can see that we can use to enhance the mind power of our subordinate. The technique for positive psychology. Positive psychology between brackets. So you can see Karma model. P stand for here. P stand for positive emotions. Then E stand for engagement, and R for relationships, and N for meaning, and A for achievement. Right? Here you can see how we can use this method to improve the mind power of our subordinates. First, when we are establishing goals for our subordinates, we need to align their values. Right? When we are giving KPIs, like for example, just say, when we are giving KPIs for our subordinates, we need to analyze and we need to match our individuals' values also. They have set of values because some individuals give more attention to their empathy, some individuals give more attention to honesty and integrity. That way, they give kind of values to certain areas, right? Some employees are giving attention to relationships. Some employees give kind of keeping kind of a good value for the target achievements also. Economic achievements or local value right? So in that way, they give different values. So when we are giving KPIs also, right, we need to think and we need to analyze, as well as we need to match individual values also. Right? Then only we can expect kind of positive emotion. Right? Then you can see strengths identification, identify and improve personal strengths to enhance engagement and satisfaction. Right? The second one, engagement. Then the third one, gratitude practice, regularly reflect on positive experiences to foster positive mindset for present and future. Simply, in your mind. There's another technique called Karma model or positive psychology. So there, what we try to do is we are trying to enhance our subordinates' mindset or like positive thinking. How we can do that is one strategy is or one method is when we are, this is just an example, when we are establishing individual goals, right? We need to match those individual goals with their personal values, right? From that, we can expect kind of a higher positive emotion. Economic emotion is positive enough with it. It's not a bad emotion, right? So then they also keep kind of a motivation to achieve the KPIs. Because those KPIs are aligning with their personal values. So then they accept it in a positive manner. Then they are being motivated to achieve the KPIs. Right? So write down the structure page. Not sorry. This is also coming under the same topic, the second method. This is the second method, right? Positive psychology. Positive psychology. Within brackets, write down karma model. So write down according to this model. According to this model. According to this model. The comma. According to this model. When leaders or the manager are taking calls for their subordinates. Calls for their subordinates. It is required to align. It is required to align. It is required to align those goals with individuals or subordinates. Personal values. Personal values. Personal values. From that, managers can expect higher level of motivation. Higher level of motivation. From their subordinates. Towards goal attainments. Towards goal attainments. Goal, yes, basically goals attainments. Right? Okay, so in this we can complete the chapter number 2. So we need to start chapter number 3. I will give a quick break to just take maximum 10 minutes. Please come within 10 minutes. And then we can start chapter number 3. There's one more slide I will explain after the break. Now listen. This is the last line that we need to analyze. Discuss under chapter number 2, work without supervision. You can see the title is. Now give attention to that. Attention please. Recognize how a particular mindset can influence one's or others' behaviors. So this whole slide, that's only one point that you need to take in your mind, right? If we consider the different mindsets of people, basically we can find two mindsets: fixed mindset and growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, if a person has a fixed mindset, that particular person is not willing to take challenges. Okay, so they do not like to learn further, right? So they really like to do their jobs with a kind of what do you call with a framework, under a framework. So they don't like to go beyond that particular framework. Always like they try to do the same thing, not taking any challenges, but just focusing the same thing that they are doing. Right? Fixed mindset. So they are not innovative also. We cannot expect creative ideas from the people who have a fixed mindset. Right? But if we move on to the growth mindset, you are clearly mentioning lead resilience. If they want to change, they are changing. Right? Collaborations, love of learning, encouraging individuals to pursue challenges and cultivate a supportive environment. If a person has a growth mindset today, they always like to learn. They are getting updated, they are seeking more knowledge, right? They like to do work with others, collaborate, they are like expecting collaborations, they like to do teamwork, right? They try to very grow, develop, right? Here, if we want to make our subordinates work without supervision, we need to transform their mindset to a growth mindset, right? When they try to learn, when they are like engaging with new things, when they are accepting challenges, right? So then we can realize that now, okay, this particular person is capable. So then after certain period, once we confident, we can make them, okay, now you are in the position, now you can like continue your work without my supervision, right? So if we want to make the subordinate work without supervision, so then we need to always encourage a growth mindset. That's what we need to take from all this slide. So in that case, write down one sentence. Leaders, right? Put it right down. Leaders need to encourage. Leaders need to encourage their subordinates to create a growth mindset, create a growth mindset, targeting willingness to take risk, targeting willingness to take risk, comma, Achieving goals timely. Achieving goals timely. Continuous learning and development. Continuous learning and development. And higher level of motivation. At the end, growth mindset of subordinates. Growth mindset of subordinates. Growth mindset of subordinates will lead to achieve the status of working without supervision. Achieving the status of working without supervision. Okay, so with this, now you can take the break. After the break, that's the number. Everybody, can we start? Hey, okay, start. So we have only 45 minutes. And now, right, okay. So now we can start chapter number 3. So they quickly settle there. Right, okay. Now, would they actively listen? So give your attention. Now we can start chapter number 3. The title is, you can see, performing under challenges. Definitely put it. So when we are working as managers, leaders, we need to perform our job role or our leadership role under different challenges, right? So we cannot avoid. If we consider the current business context or the business environment also, we know that it's dynamic, rapidly changing. Okay, so definitely when the environment also changing, definitely there will be more challenges. Plus, when we are working with different people, when we are handling different people, when we are handling new tasks, okay, so definitely we need to face challenges. Then as leaders, we need to understand how to perform our role as a leader under challenges. Okay, performing under challenges. So here, I decided to give kind of an overall idea about the area that we are going to discuss within this chapter. Here you can see I have listed 4 points. Right? Basically, these are the main areas, right? Content-wise main areas that we are going to discuss under this chapter, and I will show what is the link between these areas and the chapter, right? First, we are going to discuss about developing a positive mindset. This is not about being proactive, independent, or taking initiatives. No, this is about positive mindset, right? Optimistic mindset. Then the thing is, but then if we have a kind of a positive mindset, then only we accept challenges, right? So if we have a positive attitude or positive attitudes, then we accept challenges. We think that, okay, I can do. I have the capabilities. We can do. So always we perceive things in a positive manner if we have a positive mindset. So then it's easy to perform our task or our role as a leader under challenges if we have a positive mindset. Right? Then prioritizing the task. That is also important. Because when we are working as managers, leaders, we need to engage with different tasks. Right? Then we should have a kind of a clear idea about what are the urgent tasks, what are the most critical tasks, what are the tasks that we need to finish firstly. So we need to prioritize, we need to be strategic, and we need to prioritize the tasks. If we can prioritize the task, then it will help us to perform our role as a leader under challenges. See the link? That's why we are discussing these areas under this chapter. Then there's another area that we are going to discuss, that is handling and managing multiple tasks. Again, this point also understandable. When we are working as managers in the current context, definitely we need to engage with different tasks, okay? If we consider 5 tasks, the purposes and the ultimate expected outcomes are totally different, multiple tasks. one thing is you all have to work, you all need to balance your work life also. You are not performing different roles in the workplace. You are performing your role as a leader or a manager. Once you reach home, you have another role also, right? So here, specifically, if we consider about the work setting, still you all need to perform different roles, different tasks. Okay, when you are performing your role as a leader, right? Then definitely you all should know what are the strategies that you can follow to manage and handle multiple tasks. If you have kind of strong strategies and if you have a good idea about managing multiple tasks, then again, this particular point also will help you to perform under challenges. Right? See the link between these areas and the topic. And the last area, improving managerial skills. Okay, we are going to discuss what are the main managerial skills required for a leader. Right? So there are also what we expect is if you in a position to improve or if you have good managerial skills like interpersonal, then human and interpersonal is somewhat like same. What you call the conceptual and the technical skills, then it's easy to work under challenges. So as leaders, then you all should know if I want to perform under challenges and if I want to achieve the expected goals, I want to improve my managerial skills. I want to improve my interpersonal skills. I want to improve my conceptual skills and I want to improve my technical skills related to the task that you are performing, right? It's about the kind of a summary about the areas that we are going to discuss under this chapter, and I have shown the link between these areas and the chapter. Ulima, that is the kind of a fundamental thing with it. When we are talking different contents and different areas under chapter, always you have to know why you are learning those areas. If you all cannot map or if you all cannot locate yourself under the areas which are coming under the chapter, at the end, when you are very close to the examination, you are struggling. Right? That's why I'm always showing the link between the areas and the areas that we are discussing under the chapter. Right? Okay. Clear. For the online students, so hope you all can see the slides.
Yes, ma'am. We can see.
All right. Okay. Great. Thank you. Right. Okay. So then, from this list, we are going to first focus developing positive mindset. Right? So now I have explained why this positive mindset is important to perform our roles as leaders and the challenges. Now it's clear. So now we are going to in detail discuss how to develop positive mindset, right? So and the importance of developing a positive mindset for the leaders, right? Okay, now listen. Can you tell me why, especially as a leader, why we need to improve positive thinking? Why? As a leader, right? Just specifically consider leadership or the role of leader and why this positive thinking is important for a leader. Especially how it will help or how will it help to a leader to perform his or her job role or like basically leadership role under challenges. So anyhow, you all have an idea. If we want to motivate and if we want to achieve the goals, we need to have a positive mindset. That is understandable. So even though you all are not giving the answer, you all have the idea in your mind. So here, I will convert the question into this way. How this positive thinking, right? How this positive thinking helps leaders to perform their leadership role under challenges. That is the question. How positive thinking helps leaders to perform their role and the challenges. You can tell me, at least tell me one point that you can consider, right? Okay. So, due to this reason, yes. Tell me at least one point according to your point of view. What do you think? I have this is one kind of very valid and very strong answer. It's correct. And I'm expecting some answers from others also. We have the hospital mental job will be through that. Then nothing going to be I will explain. When the techniques are giving this result, they can be performance. That is also a question. Right? If a person has a positive mindset, right? How affecting the positive mindset helps the person achieve what? Person become 400 challenges. So here, one thing is, I have multiple different answers to that. Here, so one important point is, if we have a positive mindset, simultaneously or parallelly, our self-confidence also getting improved, right? If we have a positive mindset, if we perceive things in a positive way, right? Our self-confidence, our confidence level also will be improved. That's why I told you that. So mental stability, yes, that is true. Mental stability, due to the mental stability, so they can achieve the self-confidence, right? So they, if they have self-confidence, okay, so then they can perform their roles under challenges. They know that okay, deadlines are there, still I can manage, right? This is kind of a very good thing. But I have the confidence because I know my strength, I know my weaknesses, and I have the capability. I can do this within the given time. Right? Self-confidence. So due to the positive thinking, we can expect self-confidence. Self-confidence will help us to perform under challenges. Right? So here I have showed why this positive thinking is important. If we want to achieve success in our career and personal life with it, so definitely when we analyze the factors which are required to achieve the success in our personal life plus career life, definitely we can find this factor called maintain positive mindset. So I wanted to just highlight the importance of maintaining this positive mindset. That's why I have taken this point, right? Carefully read this. See these strategies. So I'll explain. Carefully read. Simply what it says is, these are some strategies. Carefully listen to them. These are some strategies that leaders can use to improve the self-confidence and the positive thinking. Okay, in the slide itself, I have not mentioned the strategy. So the term strategy here, what you can understand by this slide is strategies, the ways that we can use to improve or enhance the positive thinking and the self-confidence. Just read, if we consider, for an example, take care of physical health, right? This is really important thing. If you want to maintain self-confidence, from that, if you want to expect positive mindset or positive thinking pattern, maintaining good physical health is very, very important, right? If you are not well, right? If you have a kind of if you have a kind of a chronic disease, right? For example, diabetes, right? So then we are worrying very much on that. Like sometimes due to those diseases, we are getting demotivated. Even if our loved ones also they also not in the good health, then still there's a kind of impact towards us. Right? In that case, this take care of physical health is really, really important for a leader. If our health status is good, then we can keep our concentration. That's why that is the important thing. So then, when we are keeping our concentration or maintaining concentration, we can capture the things easily. When we are capturing the things, that means it will help us to improve our knowledge. And when we are improving our knowledge by learning, then automatically our self-confidence level will improve. When the self-confidence level is getting improved, it will positively create impact on positive thinking. Right? See, all these things we can link. Then, for example, I guess some of you are practicing this with a positive self-talk. Right? When you all have negative thoughts, if you want to overcome those negative thoughts with it, sometimes some of you all may like practice this positive self-talk. Someone can kata karna. Mujhe dewa ke someone kata karna. Positive self-talk. Right? Then practice gratitude. We have to bless, right? And we have to quickly overcome if there's a negative thought, and if we want to convert ourselves into kind of a positive status, right? We need a gratitude for the things that we have, right? As well as we need to quickly move from that status, and we need to think about the future. You can like you still we have to like deal with the negative thoughts. So we need to move on. Right? These are some strategies, simply these are some strategies that leaders can use to maintain self-confidence and positive mindset. Out of this list, I write down any 5. First read the list and write down any 5. Don't write down the first 5. Okay? The logic, not the logic. The purpose is still same. Write down any 5 points which you feel easy to recall. Okay, they will not come in. What I fell out of what you mean. Open the competition and takes it off. But even in the next one is good life of the brain. Because I stay clear and achievable goals. Second one is calculate the self of the understand and famous. Then positive self. But I can do I just like maximize the size. Around positive issues. The other is we need the people who are spending the software. Then take care of physical health, continuous learning and skill development. Then step out from comfort zone. Practice gratitude, visualization techniques, maintain positive environment, practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Seek professional help. Those are points. Okay, then we can those are points. By taking 5 points. Or it's studying another job and then. For the last euros, let me like maximize the slide. Then for the last euros, let me maximize the slide, then you all can read. Now it's there. But then all put signatures on behalf of your friends, okay, just put only your signature. Now listen to them. Now you all have identified the strategies that you all can use to improve positive thinking and self-confidence. It's clear. But the thing is, the identification is not sufficient. We can identify, we can recognize, okay? But if you are not going to implement them actually, so you all cannot achieve the expected level of self-confidence and the positive mindset, right? So once you identify them, the important is just see, listen to me. You all have identified what are the strategies that we can use to improve the self-confidence and the positive mindset. That is true. So once we identify it, then we need to put them into the action, right? That is the important part, right? Here you can see in the whiteboard I have explained how we can achieve or how we can continue with those strategies, right? After the identification, what we have to do? After the identification of strategies, what we have to do? The first point is I have mentioned here, practice and exercise strategies that can use to improve the self-confidence and positive thinking continuously, right? So here it's simply about once you identify, you have to put them into the practice or the action. That's what it says, right? It's understandable. Continuously you have to do. For example, if you are identifying learning and development is important for self-confidence and positive thinking, right? Then you all have to continuously engage with learning. Right? You all have to continuously engage with learning. Yeah, I want to highlight that particular factor also today. Out of that, you all have different strategies here. If you all have not been continuous learning and development, please write down that strategy also. Right? If you want to develop a self-confidence level, definitely you all need to engage with continuous learning. You all need to be updated. Right? Otherwise, you all will get isolated when you all are in different categories today. You all do not know those topics, so you all cannot talk. So definitely you feel like you are getting isolated. Sorry. In that case, it is really important to engage in continuous learning and development if you want to improve your self-confidence. That's the alternative isolate this. But I'm not doing that particular, please write down, it's important. Right? So then other important thing is once you engage, once you are engaging in those strategies, you all have to review them. Right? You all have to review the outcomes of or the results of your strategies. Just assume like when you are engaging with positive self-talk, then practice gratitude, you need to understand whether your confidence level and the positive thinking enhance or not. Right? If those strategies are not delivering the expected results, you have to move on to another set of strategies. No point of like following the same set of strategies. That is the importance of reviewing. Need to review. Review करेगा तो ऊपर जाना है expected outcome में ये strategies नहीं है ना देखिए ना समझ के self confidence level में तो नहीं no point to this. You all have to analyze, review. Then you all need to take necessary actions to further improve them. Once you realize that okay, these strategies deliver the expected results, next you want to move on to another set of strategies to further improve your self confidence level and the positivity. Right? So in that case, write down these 3 points also. Write down a subtopic. Maintaining the subtopic. Maintaining positive thinking and self-confidence. Maintaining. This is the slide which explains me like the area that I have already discussed. Maintaining positive thinking and self-confidence after the identification of strategies. After the identification of relevant strategies. Right? So then put a comma and write down these 3 factors. First one, I'm reading because I guess class was kind of like give these notes clearly. In that case, I will read. Right at the first point, exercise and practice. Exercise and practice. Exercise and practice. The identified strategies that can use to improve positive thinking and self-confidence. That can use to improve positive thinking and self-confidence. The implementation part, strategy implementation. Actually, we need to engage with the strategies, right? Then I come to the second point. Review and evaluate. Review and evaluate the results of strategies. The results of strategies in a regular manner. Weekly, monthly, in a regular manner. Then the last point, third point. Take necessary actions to. Take necessary actions to. Improve further. Improve further. We can write down engage with more. Engage with more. Engage with more. Learning activities. Learning activities. Take this activity. What is your own most creative idea or action? Your own idea or action. What can you look back on with pride and say, yes, I did that? They are expecting on the back. I was significant. Follow your path, then we carry on right? Get diagram and genuine. The mind box. I need to have that. Because what we see and it was absolutely okay, pink and right now. Yes, context innovation, so right. I know very innovative products, so just we are expecting very creative idea. It can be a strategy. All systems, just forget the create. Some of you all have been right, some of you all have not been. I have listed some answers like no achievements, right? And the thing is, but it's also kind of a thing. Also, you have to be so I have given the answer, right? According to his first right point of view, no any main achievement, right? The thing is, that is also depending on the way that we are perceiving things and like analyzing things. What I'm talking about, your balance but it's done your කෙනෙක්ට achievement එකක් කියන දකින්න එක තව කෙනෙක්ට achievement එකක් අපි දකින්නේ නැහැ. Right? So depending on the way of like the way that you are perceiving and analyze it. Right? That is true. That is okay. But here I have asked this question. I have asked you all to write down an answer to this. That's the reason. Right? Because when you are like if you want to become, give me 1 second. Information in your because that's the reason I have asked you all to write down the answer for this. If you want to achieve success in your leadership life, or if you want to achieve, or if you want to become a successful leader, right? You need to have some achievements to things, right? Try to obtain some achievements, right? When you are performing, like if you want to have a label, he or she is a successful leader, definitely today you all have to focus achievements, right? If you do not have achievements, then it's really hard to achieve the label called successful leader. Like you have to realize this when you are like performing as leaders, some of you are now performing as leaders with the managers. The thing is, one day when we analyze the different profiles of leaders, right, in order to label their personalities, not the personalities, their profiles as a successful leader, right? So definitely we should be able to find some achievements. So based on those achievements, we are giving the label is a successful leader. Not only based on achievements, there are several factors that we are considering when we are giving a label for like a leader and successful leader. But here, these achievements also play a crucial or a critical role in achieving the status called successful leader. That's why I have asked you to write down this. So this point you have to realize later on. So with this, I will wind up the session for today. Thank you and see you all next Saturday. Yes, thank you.